Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Automation Podcast. My name is Shawn Tierney from Insights. And in this episode, I sit down with Filippo Boido from Agile Automation to learn all about their new PLC code deciphering and writing AI agent. But before we get to that, I got a couple of announcements. First of all, as this episode is not sponsored, there is a greatly extended edition that is ad-free that is available for members. Membership starts at just $5 a month over at YouTube or theautomationblog.com. And so if you're already a member or you want to sign up for a member, you can get the extended edition with no commercials up there on either site. And I also want to announce that I'm having a training class right here, September 22nd through the 25th on compact logics. And so if you know anybody who needs to get up to speed on compact logics, please tell them to reach out to me. It's only $1,700 if you sign up before September 1st. And that also includes the online course, which you get as a bonus after you finish the in-person course. So that's another $200 value, and all the different software packages we give you, the PLC application simulator, the digital twin, and all of that. But in any case, if you know anybody looking for a compact logics training, we're just 1 hour out of Albany. It's a beautiful ride through the country. And we have all the big hotels here locally too. Within 3 miles, we have the Holiday Inns, the Hampton Inns, the Marriotts. We even have a Best Western the guys just told me about. You won't find that one on the website, but you'll find all the other information up at theautomationblog.com/live. And so with those announcements out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this episode of the Automation Podcast and learn all about Agile Automation's AI agent. Filippo, thank you for coming on the Automation Podcast. I'm really looking forward to what we're going to talk about today. But before we get to any of that, since this is the first time you've come on the show, why don't you start by introducing yourself to our audience?
Sure. Thank you, Shawn, for having me here and for the invitation. I'm really glad to have the opportunity today to show you what TcAgent can do. And I quickly introduce myself. I'm Filippo Boido. I'm the founder of a small engineering company called Agile Automation. And we provide services to machine builders in around PLC programming, commissioning, and we also create tools and frameworks for machine builders or programmers that need to get the job done.
Excellent. And I think I found you on LinkedIn because what you're working on with TcAgent just seems so interesting. So let me just pitch it right back to you and tell us what you're working on here.
Yes. So TcAgent is the latest product that we've been working on, and it practically helps engineers to analyze PLC projects, particularly back-off projects, and it helps them with creating the right algorithms for their task, and overall is a great help in the day-to-day work. We also use it, so it's not a product that is detached from the day-to-day work. We use it ourselves and improve it every day and make it, let's say, tuned for different PLC work. So to make it short, it's not just a general chatbot, or it's not like the normal AI output you get from the common or the known big players. It's a system around a specific model, and this system gives all the benefits. And there aren't many tools out there that do the same. I haven't seen any like this, I must say. And for backoff, there are none, as far as I'm aware of. I know that backoff has something in plan, but they haven't released any official date as of today. There are other big players that are also working in this direction. I know of Siemens that is really into it. Also, Alan Bradley I've discovered lately.
I think most of us have by now played with either ChatGPT, Grok,
Hmm.
Gemini, or there's a lot of other ones, Perplexity and others. I know I won't get them all.
Hmm.
And they're really good at some things, right? They're really good at some, like if you're crafting a letter and you're like, oh, I need a couple different versions of this paragraph. Give me a couple. They do a great job of that. And some of them can make great caricatures as long as you don't get too finicky about the hardware in the picture. If you tell them you want this particular brand and this particular model, it won't do it. But give them your photo, they'll make a caricature. And I just thought it does a great. I know at LinkedIn we were all doing that for a while. Everybody's making their own caricatures and posting them. But there's some things they're not very good at, like some research tasks. They would just, there's a lot of, misinformation on the internet, and so they just regurgitate that. And it's frustrating for me as somebody who's trying to be precise in my when I'm doing training. Um, and there's other things they don't do too. Sometimes their logics, they hallucinate, they fill the gaps in. Like I had to invent some PLCs that never existed as I was doing research for PLCs. I'm like, there was no PLC like that. There was no PLC. But in any case, so what you're doing though is more focused on, coding, right? And so
Yes.
tell us a little bit about what it does. I know you use TwinCAD a lot, so tell us a little bit of how that works in the standard control engineer's, daily job, how they could use what your product.
Yes, yes, of course. So I can show you a demo
Okay.
very soon, but just as an introduction, what you're saying is true. So these models that we have today, they are very capable, and they get more intelligent by the day, let's say, and probably what we will have in 6 months is way more advanced than what we have today. But the point is that for, let's say, specific domains, they are like trained in for general domains. Okay, they're like good at many tasks. But
Yeah.
if you want them to be like good at a specific task, you need a system around them and a good context. And this is what we do with TcAgent. We provide the system so that they hallucinate less and they are way more reliable when it's about coding PLC. And yes, we are enhancing the capabilities of this agent a lot by the day. And for now, it can code structured text the best, but it can also code SFC and ladder.
Okay,
Not
that's very
let's
interesting.
Yes, not like a pro. We are it's because it's way more let's say expensive from a reasoning effort to program this kind of languages, because they were not trained at all like on these kind of graphical languages, and they are I don't know regarding um, Alan Bradley, but Codas is based graphical languages, and TwinCAT is based on codices. They have this XML private kind of private. They lean on the standard, but it's not quite the PLC open standard for these graphical languages. So it's we had to create a complete parser in order for the agent to be able to program this kind of graphical languages, but we are getting there. So today I don't think I will show you ladder or SFC. Maybe we can try some small program, but I would like more to go into structured text, if that's okay for you.
Yeah, we're seeing that, structured text is so similar to other text-based languages that
Yes,
we're seeing a lot of AI start there because they've
yes,
kind of already conquered, C plus
yes,
and JavaScript
exactly.
and Python. So it seems like an easy migration. But I do think a lot of people in the audience probably like, well, tell me when I can do ladder logic.
Hmm.
But this stuff doesn't happen overnight. We got to walk before we run, right? And so yeah, I think most people understand that, if you're in this as a professional, you want to learn all the IEC 61131-3
Hmm.
languages, right? You may
Yes.
start out as an electrician learning ladder logic, but over time you want to increase your skills to include function blocks, SFCs, and definitely structured text, right? And for some cases, like setting a bunch of variables to a start state, it's the best language to use, right? But let me go ahead and turn it back to you and have you show us a little bit of the TcGen.
Okay, so I share my screen. Okay, so this is the dashboard of the agent.
Okay.
So on the left side, you have the pane with the workspaces. And inside the workspaces, you can add projects. And inside each project, you can have interactions. Okay. And on the right side, you have some, let's say, activity log of what the agent is doing and some other metadata. And the central pane is where the interaction takes place. So you have the your prompts and the responses of the agent. Okay. Then we have here some settings. I can go later a little deeper in those because it takes a while when you give them a task. Depending on the difficulty, it takes some minutes, and I would like to use that time to explain what all the settings are about while the agent is working, so we don't have like that time. Is it okay for you?
Yeah, I want to ask one question before we get started. If a customer who's watching this, an engineer is watching this and wants to get access to this, was this something that's going to run in the cloud or run on premise? Hey, everybody, just want to break in here and pay the bills. First announcement is I've opened enrollment for my class on September 22nd through the 25th. It's a Compact Logics course, and you will learn everything you need to know to get up to speed on that product. So maybe you guys don't need to know that, but maybe you know somebody who needs that training. So please tell them to reach out to me over at theautomationschool.com/live. And again, they can save $300 if they sign up before September 1st. That said, I also want to thank all our members. Members actually get an extended edition of this episode with no commercials for supporting my work, starting at just $5 a month over at YouTube or theautomationblog.com. It's really the only way I can afford to spend 5 to 6 hours putting these shows together every week when they're not sponsored is through our membership program. So thank you, members. We could use a few dozen more to really stop breaking even on the show. So really appreciate any of our long-term listeners looking at that, see if that's something that you could do. Would really appreciate that. And with that said, let's go ahead and jump back into this episode of the Automation Podcast.
So I can show you something. So this is the TwinCat shell, right?
Okay.
This is a demo project I opened before, and this agent comes in as a plugin in this Visual Studio shell. Okay, so you open the tools section and you have the TcAgent agent here, and when you click here, this window opens. Okay. And here you can authenticate with the access token, and I'm using the test API of not using the production API, because this is what we are seeing today is the latest version, not the production version. So we have the production API and the test API, and I'm using the test API. And here you see some metadata. Since TwinCat has two major systems, the 4024 and the 4026. The 4026 is the newer version, but on this system I have installed the older version. Nevertheless, it works for both, but the system detects here that it's the version 4024, and so it displays it here. And then you can check for updates, and if there is a newer version, you can update the TcAgent agent from automatically, let's say, with the newest version. You don't have to install a new package or reinstall anything. Okay.
So the plugin exists on your computer. It's registered inside of TwinCat in this example, and you can access it directly from TwinCat, which makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
But it will need online access. Am I right or wrong? It still has to query the server, right?
So so we offer two models. We offer the cloud model,
Okay.
and which uses, let's say, stronger high-end models,
Hmm.
so frontier models out there. And for that, you need the internet access, or we provide a local solution with a local server which runs a smaller model, but nevertheless strong model. So if you want to have privacy and you don't want to send the data to the cloud, you can also have the private local solution.
I think that's important because a lot of customers, not all, but some customers are very concerned about IP and they want to protect their intellectual property. So having that option, I think, is good for
Mhm.
those customers who would need it. But
Yeah.
obviously, your local server is not going to be as big or as powerful as the server
Mhm.
farm you have, so that the model will be won't be identical. But okay, thank you for. I didn't mean to take us off on a side trip, but thank you for covering that. I thought that was an
Yes, of
important
course.
question to ask. So I'll turn it back to you now.
Every time you have a question, just interrupt me, and I can explain. So so main is the let's say the standard workspace that pre-exists when you open the agent for the first time, and then
Mhm.
I added this automation demo workspace, and I added project that is full of bugs that we prepared for this demo, so
Okay.
that you can see what it can find out, and then we can maybe create a new project, and I can show you also other things. Okay, so let's rename this, because I don't like this is the standard let's say name PLC. It's actually not the standard name, it's the name of the project in TwinCAT, but I don't like it, so I rename it quick. Let's say demo with Shawn. Okay, so let's see. We have here two models or two profiles. Let's say we have the all-around profile, which can do, let's say, many tasks well, but it's not that powerful like the architect. And then we have different reasoning effort stages. We can choose between none, normal, and deep. And now we can do a first quick question we could ask. What can you see well,
I can see,
actually?
definitely. Yep.
Yeah. What is this project about? Okay. So let's go.
So you've already had the project uploaded into this
So
into the code, the PLC
yeah,
code itself.
I just added the project. I can show you actually the project in TwinCAT. Wait just a
And now it's
second.
going through and parsing the project and
Yeah, exactly.
updating. I see an updated
Oops,
reasoning there
sorry.
where it's telling us
Yeah.
it's describing pieces and parts of it as it goes through it.
Yeah, actually, you can also expand the reasoning, and
Uh-huh.
because this was a short, let's say, task, but for tasks that last longer, it's actually very interesting to follow what he's thinking. So maybe if he's going the wrong direction, that also happens sometimes, you can abort the task.
Well,
This
that's
is
good.
also, yeah. So, and we have here the structure of the project. Okay, he gives an overview first of the architecture with the defined data structure in it, and yeah, what it all contains. It's actually a kind of a demo project that should run a warehouse system. Okay, I
Okay.
open it. I open it now in TwinCAT, so you see what this project is about in real life. Give me just a second. Okay,
Sure,
it's opening.
sure. Just for the audience, the audio audience, I'm seeing the DUTs, the GVLs, global variable lists. I'm seeing the POUs, the programs, and it's showing that structure in a nice format, tiered format.
Yes. So this is actually the project here, the warehouse TwinCut. This is the PLC 851 we had before, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just renamed it to make it clear that, yeah, it's the project we're using as a demo. And as you can see, it has a couple of actuator blocks, an FB access block, an FB RFID block, some form of object-oriented programming with a base object here, which is inherited by this other two magazine blocks, magazine inlet extends FB magazine base, magazine outlet. Then we have an outlet module, some management blocks, and system blocks. So it's kind of a real project, but yeah, it has many errors. So here the agent, gives a summary of the project structure. As you can see, it's the same structure we just saw right now. So he has total control of the project. He can read it, he can understand it, and it's all in his memory. So once the project is in his memory, he can reason about the relationships between the modules and can find out weaknesses and bugs. And yeah, here it explains a little bit what the operational flow of the program is with the auto mode, and explains the key design patterns. And it says this is a production grade warehouse stacker crane running on TwinCut with 3 servo axes, dual RFID tracking inlet and outlet, 54 slot magazine rack with automatic storage retrieval, full auto manual mode, switching with HMI parameter system, OPC UA interface for SCADA external control, structured state machine architecture with reusable step chain base class. And now we could, for example, ask what improvements do you suggest? And he will now generate a list of things that might be worrisome, other things that should be improved. And as I said here, we can expand this so we have a better view of his reasoning. He's now going through all the project again and searching for things to improve.
And because you're using this on real projects, you're constantly updating the code behind the scene to make it better. So if you're using it on a project, you're like, I really don't like the way it answers that, you can go ahead and update TcAgent to make it better because you're actually using it in daily work, trying to write code.
Yeah, exactly. So we use it ourselves, so we know what it can do, and we also know where we want it to be in 6 months.
Sure.
So this version you see now, it's we are just at the beginning of our work with this. This is great. Already it's great for many applications, but we have a lot more coming. As I said, I'm really amazed by this technology, and we will keep improving it and making it better and better. And hopefully in 6 months or so, we have the opportunity to show you all the advances we have done in this amount of time.
Oh, that would be awesome. And I want to just ask you if anybody who's watching or listening wants to find out more, who should they contact?
Yes, so our website is agileautomation.eu, and I think you can see this is the link to the agent page where it describes what we discussed in the last 1.5 hours here. And there is a product roadmap for what we want to achieve in the next 6 months. What I actually wanted to show you was also the live machine context for faster diagnostics feature that we have planned for August. What you saw today is, let's say, a pre-release. It's still, we are testing it and debugging it and improving it, but the final feature will be released on August. I had not the time to show it to you today, but as I said, maybe we have another time. And yeah, many more features are coming in the next six months. And if you are interested to know more, just call me or write a message here in the website. There is also my number. We can have a chat.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're driving, I'm going to go through that website again. It's agileautomation.eu. So agileautomation.eu. And then the product we talked about today, TcAgent. That's what we've been looking at, and it looks pretty amazing. And Filippo, I want to thank you for coming on the show and spending time with us to go through this. Really appreciate it. And I look forward to getting you back on in the fall to look at what's changed and what's new.
Thank you, Shawn. Thank you a lot.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode, and I want to thank Filippo for coming on the show and bringing us up to speed on their TcAgent. I also want to thank all our members. If you enjoy this show and would like us to keep going, please consider being a member. It starts at just $5 a month, both at theautomationblog.com or at YouTube. And with that, I also want to mention that I have a Compact Logics course coming up September 22nd through the 25th. If you know anybody who needs some affordable Compact Logics training, you can save $300 by signing up before September 1st. So that makes it just $1,700. And you'll leave with lifetime access to the online course as well. So get in touch with me. I only got 8 seats, I think 7 or 6 seats left. So please reach out to me ASAP over at theautomationschool.com/live and reserve your spot, or reserve a spot for somebody who works for you so we can get them the training they need. And with that, I want to wish you all good health and happiness. Have a great week, everyone. And until next time, my friends, peace.